Welcome back, welcome back. She has sold more than 78 million records. 4 Grammys, 1 Oscar, 2 Golden Globes decorate her trophy shelf. But that's not all that Annie Lennox is known for. Annie Lennox, in the last few years, has devoted most of her work to humanitarian projects, well, not most of work, but a lot of her time to humanitarian projects in Africa. Her Sing campaign, for instance, to raise awareness of the HIV and AIDS problem in the continent, has received support from some of the world's most renowned female singer-artists, and now Annie's campaign enters its second phase. Its second phase. Very dramatic, that. What is the second phase?
Well, essentially, I'm not a professional campaigner. I have no idea how to go about these kind of things. But I've been trying to find a way to use music as a vehicle to raise awareness and hopefully get some funds towards these kind of issues. So the second phase of the Sing campaign is actually the fact that the record company finally got behind me and agreed to create what they call nowadays a physical copy, because before my attempt at the Sing campaign was to have people download. I was trying to use technology and have them download, but now I'm actually being supported by the record company, by the body shop, and the song that I wrote, Sing, will now be available for sale in shops. Sorry, it's taken me a long time to explain the second part of the Sing campaign. But essentially, I'm so committed to this issue that it's something that's not going to go away very easily, and as tragically, neither will the HIV/AIDS pandemic, unless people speak about it and unless people get active.
And this is all about the action here. This is a new brochure, more than a brochure, about, in fact, the work you're involved in. And I think you said, for instance, here, that this is a before and after shot, yeah?
Yes, it is. That's right.
This is
a little girl called Avilile. And in this photograph, when we just had met her, she's 7 years old, and she was suffering from full-blown AIDS. She had pneumonia. Her mother died of AIDS. We visited her in hospital, and on the day that we left, the nurses said we didn't know what her actual chances of survival really were. They're very 50-50. 5 months later, we went back to South Africa and traced her again, and she had been on a course of treatment. And with good nutrition and good medical care, you'll see how she looks, and she looks amazing. And the thing is, I think that it should be every child's right to have access to treatment for their health, and you can see the difference that it makes. Instead of that child dying, her life is being saved, and she's going to school again now, and living as near to a normal life. And this was a child that was very close to death. And so it's there, it's proof.
And this is you in South Africa, yes?
Yes, it's me in the Eastern Cape. I'm actually with a small group of children that are what you would term a child-headed household. And child-headed households are endemic right across the Eastern Cape, and in fact across the whole of Africa. Those are children that have lost both parents to, well, poverty, AIDS, what have you, but mainly AIDS. And they just have to survive by themselves. And
what is the reason that South Africa, I mean, it's partially, they say it's President Mbeki's slowness and so on to get behind the HIV/AIDS link. But when you think of people like yourself having to do this and wanting to do this, and Elton does a lot in South Africa, I've been to some of his places there. This man with you here, Nelson Mandela, is passionate for something more to be done.
Yes.
Why is it not being done?
Yes.
Why is it left to you?
I think that politicians have been terribly slow, as you described, in Mbeki's response to the HIV, and even throwing extraordinary curveballs and confusion with the situation. I had never understood before that the government had taken a kind of what they describe as a denialist stance. I mean, with his health minister saying such things as, if you take beetroot, olive oil, garlic and lemon juice, that's a better, safer option to treatment than the AZT, which they say is toxic, which it is toxic, that is true. But I've never heard of any other medical person who would ever advocate just simply giving vitamins and garlic and herbal remedies. This is not a cure for AIDS, and it's certainly not a response to the HIV virus. Why they have been so slow, why there has been such a lack of response, I don't really honestly have an answer for that. It's very confusing. I've asked a lot of people about this denialism, and it's the problem is that also you have a huge stigma attached to the issue of HIV/AIDS. People are terrified to come out and disclose their status. I'm very sure that there are many people in the government itself and all through the business sector from every aspect of society who are either infected or affected by HIV/AIDS. But when you have a president saying, I actually don't know anybody who's ever died of AIDS,
difficult.
Where half his country are affected, it's very strange.
Well, just time for a moment or two on the rest of your life, which is a busy one.
Oh, that.
That old thing.
that old thing, that old chestnut.
Young thing. Because here was this front page, not front page, but full page in the Telegraph last week. No more marriage for me, she says.
I know. What did I say that for?
Boldly.
God, I'm taking that one back. No, perhaps.
But the music still means as much to you, does it?
Yes, absolutely.
Your new album and everything. I mean, this other passion hasn't pushed out the music for.
Well, you know, I'm a multitasker. I spin a lot of plates. I'm passionately engaged with my family. I'm passionately engaged with being a creative artist, and I'm passionately engaged with the campaign that I'm heading up now. And I always have been passionate about life, and I think I have an opportunity to live my life in this way. And I'm going for it. And
that's very positive. And looking back at your quotes, Anna, you often say that life is pretty miserable, not just for people suffering in South Africa, but that there's a more melancholic turn of phrase to some of the things you said in interviews. You're more upbeat now.
I'm more upbeat now. But I mean, the thing is, because if you look at the world, and in my opinion, the world is mad. The world is brutal, sadistic, violent, cruel. And, you know, and we're looking at the state of the planet, and everyone is talking about, do we have a future? Is it sustainable? What about ecology? What about this warfare? What about our future? And we need to grasp these. Time is running out for us all, and we need to be sane. I'd love to see governments that would look for alternative ways to resolve conflict than simply bombing. Or, you know, there must be alternative ways. There must be better ways to deal with the situation with Palestine and Israel, for example. There must be a solution. There must be a solution that is not violent, and we need to get that message through. So I'm hoping that one can look positively and live life to the full with this message of peace and cooperation, because we're all affected. No matter what happens on this globe, all of us, we can't hide from it anymore. We all have to face it.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much indeed. We'll be right back.